And welcome back to the channel here, everybody. Welcome back to Lucas Johnson, and we are back with this UConn coaching Carousel Dynasty here on NCAA 25. And we have 2 games to show you here in this episode as the UConn Huskies rolling out of the tunnel and onto the field here for their final home game of the season this year. This is senior day here for the UConn Huskies. 6-2 in Week 10 of the season. Secured a bowl appearance last episode, beating San Diego State. And now we play James Madison and UAB in this episode here. James Madison is above 500. They are 5-3 on the year. See Ohio State losing a big game there to Nebraska in the wired news in the NCAA. But you look at our schedule, and we started off the year with 4-game win streak, and then we fell to a team that it is our Arizona team that's still ranked. Ran off a couple more victories in a row against Buffalo and Temple. Ran into kind of a buzzsaw matchup against Wake Forest and struggled against them. But we're coming off of a big win, their biggest one of the season, our 6th win of the year. And here's a look at JMU's schedule now. They lost to Charlotte, who is 5-3. They are above 500 team, but they're not very highly rated. They did beat FCS East by quite a bit here. But, their wins are really not all that impressive victories. I mean, they beat North Carolina, who only has 2 wins this year. They only beat them by 2. They lost to a Ball State team that's 5-3. Their offense didn't play very well in that game, it looks like. They also lost to UL Monroe, who's actually only 3-4 in this game, but UL Monroe is one of the lower-rated teams in the game. And they are on a 3-game win streak, but look at who they have played and who they've beaten. They beat Carousel, Carolina, only have 1 win. Georgia Southern, who only has 2 wins, and Southern Mississippi, who only has 2 wins. So you're looking at the past 3 opponents that they played, only 5 wins combined between those 3 teams. So their schedule doesn't look that difficult, and it seems like whenever they have played a team with a winning record this year, for the most part, they have not been able to pull out victories against those teams. So, they're not very high rated in this game. I think they're slightly lower rated than the Huskies are, and in terms of just how this game rates us. So, their roster is about comparable to ours, maybe a little bit less strong than ours is, but there's the numbers for Nick Evers this season. 2,311 yards there. 12 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Just kind of had a rough game, a rough episode all around last time against, both Wake Forest and San Diego State. Kind of struggled in both of those games, threw a lot of interceptions and made a lot of mistakes. But, you look at with the running back situation here, and, Cam Edwards, he got in the end zone 2 more times last episode in that game against San Diego State. He's up to 14 touchdowns on the season now. Victor Rosa with 419 rushing yards behind him. And a glance at receiving numbers here. Sheffield is still leading the team by quite a bit, actually almost 100 yards more than anybody else right now on our team. He still had 6 touchdowns. He hasn't caught a touchdown pass. I don't think he has caught a touchdown pass since the Temple game. And that was his last touchdown reception. And then Victor Rosa is behind him with 45 catches. That's the most on the team out of anybody. He's got 534 yards and 3 touchdowns. But Buckham there with just over 400 and, just over 400 yards. Josiah Gathering still stuck at only a 1 touchdown reception. He's got 350 yards exactly on the season. 208 yards for Nick Harrison. It's kind of surprising that, him as a tight end is, we just haven't really used him that much in the offense. Usually I like to go to the tight end a lot more. At least I know I did in the NCAA 25 game. I used my tight end quite a bit in that game. It's not necessarily the same in this game. And I think I showed you this last time, or at least you saw the injury notification next to Price Yates, but he is out for 6 weeks, so Price Yates done for the season at 5.5 sacks, only 38 tackles. He got injured pretty early on, maybe like a few weeks ago. But Julian Simone is at 6 sacks right now. Then they've got a lot of guys, a couple guys with 1.5, a lot of guys with only 1 sack on our defense. Bell, Jones, Isaiah Davis, and Zacharias Spears have our 5 interceptions on the year. And yeah, we have forced a fumble now. We have had a couple of fumble recoveries. Finally, first fumble against San Diego State last episode. And then Chris Freeman had a very important kick last episode. That was the kick to send us to a bowl eligibility and to win that game. And you look at the national ratings here, or the national leaders in rushing yards, and Cam Edwards has the most rushing touchdowns of the season. He's even beating guys like Donovan Edwards and, you know, Ragsdale, some of these guys that are up there among the top running backs in the nation right now. 14 touchdowns is a lot. That's the most in the nation, and he is third in terms of rushing yards overall, just behind Edwards and Cooley there. With, you know, Cooley's got 900 yards already, 883 for him, but he's pretty firmly in third place in terms of rushing yards this season. There was a guy that we're going to face there, a little bit down, a couple spots from him. We're going to showcase him when we're going to highlight him for JMU here in a minute. But you look at our offense right now, and I believe we were at that top spot. We had the most offensive yards in the country total, and we're in the top 5 in terms of rushing yards this season. And, you know, our passing yards isn't that bad, really, when you look at it. And our defense is pretty decent here. They are actually the best in independents. Or no, we give it the most yards in terms of independent teams here, but not by a lot. I mean, Notre Dame has us beat, but only by about 20 yards or so. So, overall, our offense has been really good at statistics-wise this year, being able to get down the field, and our defense has been pretty good, right about middle of the pack in the nation this season. And we go over to James Madison's roster here, and this is their big superstar player, Ayo Adai. He is among the top running backs in the nation, an 87 overall, 88 elusiveness, 87 hands, so he's got good hands and good IQ. His route running isn't the most exceptional there. I don't know how many catches he's really had this year, but he's a very quick and agile wide receiver, and yeah, he's got 782 rushing yards and 11 touchdowns, so he is definitely a big factor to watch out for. Our defense is going to have to try and contain him somehow. And then the second best player on this team is their quarterback. So, you know, they got a good running back, a really good running back, and they have a 4-star high school recruit quarterback here in Dylan Morris, who, you know, his accuracies are really good. Medium throw accuracy, 87, 85 there for his other accuracy, 90 throw power, 88 awareness. He's not a mobile guy. He's not going to be scrambling outside of the pocket, but he's very accurate and gets the football where he needs to get it to. And you look at his numbers, 1,700 yards, or 1,751 in total yards, only 12 passing touchdowns, 5 interceptions, probably only 12 passing touchdowns just because they've been able to run the ball so effectively this season overall as a team. Those are the only two 80-plus players that this team has, and you know, they're only a 74 overall, only 75 offense, 74 defense here, so they are significantly, they're about 4 overall lower than we are here as we go into this matchup. And that's a look at kind of what the football playoffs look like there. this is the only sim that I've played in where Mizzou has actually been good and has been winning a lot of games. Fortunately, I'm not going to make the playoffs probably in real life. But yeah, Utah is there. Utah's not had a good season in real life. But that was just a snapshot. And again, we will probably hop into some games, and I'll show you some of the games in the playoffs here as the season comes to an end. I plan on doing that, at least like the national championship and the semifinal games for you guys. But JMU here, they get the football first, and they take up a lot of time on the clock. I mean, there's already only under 8 minutes to go. They just took 4 minutes off the clock, basically, and drove down the field and scored a touchdown. So we're going to have to answer here for that. And James Madison's offense gets off to a really good start. That was a good return right there by Sheffield. He gets out to the 25-yard line. So here is Nick Evers and the offense going back out to the field, and it's a give to Victor Rosa, the first running play, or the first play of the game, is a run to the outside, and Victor Rosa's got a gain of 6 there. 42 yards last game for Rosa. And now we're going to go immediately play action here. And breaking a tackle is Evers, and he's going to get a positive gain out across the 40. And that's a good run there. Negative 31 yards on the season overall. 3 rushing touchdowns on the year. 3rd down and 8. But that was a good play right there to break away from the sack and get a good gain and get a 1st down. And that's a little toss over the middle. I believe that was Josiah Gatherings there, number 4, making that catch. Now it's a 3rd down and 10 after a couple of incompletions. Going to go outside to hit the curl route, and that is the first catch for TJ Sheffield tonight. So already a few plays here, and this offense is driving, but there's a fumble here on a speed option, and luckily that's Cam Edwards picking it up, but that's a forced fumble by Emmanuel Bush. And nearly a turnover, but still a disaster of 1st down play. It's now 2nd and over 20 yards here, and we're going to go with a screen pass, and Victor Rosa is going to actually get a decent gain right there, a gain of about 12 to make it 3rd down and 11, but it's still a 3rd down and long here on this play. Man in motion is Victor Rosa. We're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. He's got the edge. Great blocking out to the outside, and Victor Rosa is going to run his way into the end zone. Touchdown for our running back here, and I mean, he has been such a huge focal point of our offense, and he's going to get in the end zone, his 4th receiving touchdown of the year. And a great throw by Evers, 14th touchdown for him on the season here, and 13th touchdown on the year, passing at least, and that's a wide receiver mid-screen that does wonders for us. Josiah Gatherings going right up the middle and getting a great gain right there on that play. So that was a good second drive of our game here. Look at this run by Cam Edwards, being physical, breaking like 2 or 3 tackles right there, and they get a gain of 5. Pretty inspirational run right there. But man, I love calling the jet sweeps. They really work in this game, it seems. That's a play-action pass to the outside. Caught by Brett Buckham. 20-yard strike to the wideout there on the outside and running that corner out. Good catch. Good hands for him. Now it's a 2nd down and 10, and throwing it to the outside. There's Rosa again. He gets around a defender and all the way down inside of the 10. An out route, and he's not covered there. Great separation for him on that defender, and he catches it, and he is able to run upfield for a monster play. First quarter is nearly coming to an end, and that is 200 passes completed this year, I believe, for Nick Evers. Is not what that said there, but yeah, this is a good throw to the outside there, and now it's 1st down and goal. We're inside of the 10-yard line here. Scrambling is Evers now. He is not going to find anybody open and cannot get the edge on the outside. He's going to get taken down. Up behind the line, that's not a loss of anything there. We're still stuck at the 8. And that's going to end the first quarter. And both teams here perfectly even after a quarter of play in this game. And, I mean, we have 134 passing yards already. Only 16 running yards, but we have 8 yards per play at this point in the game, where our offense has been pretty efficient so far. So 2nd down and goal from the 8. Gonna try to go short with it. It is caught by Buckham here, but he's not going to be into the end zone or anything. Now it's a 3rd and goal from the 4. Here's a snap, and it's a running play up the middle, but not a lot there. Not really any space for Victor Rosa. He's only getting a gain of about a yard, if that. 4th and goal here early in the second quarter. We're going to go for this here. We want to get points out of this drive, and scrambling right up the middle and getting in the end zone is Nick Evers. Touchdown, UConn. They will retake the lead here in the second quarter and ignore the kind of wonky animations here. You saw those guys in the end zone like spinning around. The game kind of glitched out there. Didn't do the proper end zone celebration, but Nick Evers, 4th rushing a touchdown of the year. Now, there was wide receivers open on this play. I mean, TJ Sheffield was wide open on this play, but, however you get into the end zone, it doesn't really matter if you get points, as, just taking a chance and going up the middle was Evers, and Look at our defense here, kind of getting gashed on the run. They were just giving the ball to Adai. Now it's a 3rd down and 7. That's an 18-yard run on 3rd down and 7 by the halfback, and he's going to get in the end zone. That's their backup halfback, actually, Tyler Purdy there, getting in the end zone. So James Madison is going to respond to our last touchdown drive with a touchdown of their own, leaning heavily on their run game. That's a gain. That's a loss of a yard, actually. So now it's a 3rd down and 11. See hot streaks now for Evers and Victor Rosa here. And Evers trying to go deep with it. Intended it for Josiah Gatherings there on the outside. It was a verticals play, but it's incomplete. Our defense does get the stop, though. Our defense does not give up anything. JMU's held, but they pinned us deep here on this possession. We are only at the 12-yard line here on 3rd down and 5. Under 5 minutes to go in this second quarter. That's a good throw outside to Harris there, to Nick Harris, making the play on a stick route. He's got a new set of downs. We're at the 20-yard line now. And back to the air and going all the way outside here. Victor Rosa running on the flats. And he actually gets a gain of 6. Good decision-making there by Evers, not trying to force anything over the middle. There's a run for Cam Edwards, only his 6th rush of the game, and you know, maybe we lean more on that. I mean, 2nd down and 5. Now it's play action here, going deep over the middle, and it's caught. There's TJ Sheffield making a big play and getting into JMU territory inside of the 40-yard line, and our star wideout shows up and comes up clutch again here in this play. And I love this play action wide receiver in. I mean, almost every time I play this, I call this play, the deep in route here is wide open. He's caught one of those passes on that play design, and now it's a 2nd down and 13. We're going to the screen pass out of the backfield to Edwards. Edwards has a lane. Edwards edging to the sideline, breaks a tackle near the goal line, and he's going to get into the end zone. A screenplay and a 40-yard dash by Cam Edwards for the score. Wow, right before the 2-minute warning. And this was a perfect screen pass right here. Look at this blocking. Oh my goodness, I don't know who that is. What number is that? That's number 77 there on the outside. He just pancaked 2 players on that play to free up space for Cam Edwards to go all the way down the field. But there is a booth review. Hold on and wait a minute. We're trying to see the spot on the football, and he actually didn't get into the end zone there, apparently. He was a yard short. So 1st and goal, the 2-minute warning now a hit for us, and we're going to give it right back to Cam Edwards. You can't hold him out of the end zone for very long. He's going to get in again. Number 15 on the season for Cam Edwards. And the national leader in that category, gets on the board with another score. So now it's 1st and 10 here with the second quarter clock winding down and escaping and not actually getting the 1st down. That was unfortunate a little bit. We had to take a timeout. Nick Evers escaping the pocket, getting a gain of 9. So 2nd down and 1 here with less than 30 seconds in the quarter. Flipping this play around here at the line of scrimmage. Evers snaps and he's going to go to he's going to look and he's going to go to the outside. And Victor Rosa is wide open. A whir out of the backfield, and he's going to get all the way down near the 20-yard line. Oh my goodness, what a huge play here on 2nd down. And this is a dry play, 50-yard strike. Victor Rosa was wide open. Zone coverage here, and there was just nobody out there for JMU at all to try and defend him. We ran the ball a couple of times, set ourselves up for a field goal, and we actually make it. So we get points right there at the very end of the half. That was a monster play for us, and we're actually now going to take a 10-point lead into halftime, up 24-14. Wow, 50-yard strike, and yeah, I mean, that was zone coverage there, and he was running the wheel on that drive play, and we flipped the play around, And, I mean, you could tell pretty early on, you just had wide open lane, nobody within yards of him, and only 275 passing yards for Nick Evers today in this game. That's a run right up the middle. That's a gaping hole for Cam Edwards to run right through. He's going to get a huge gain right there. Biggest run of the night. Sets us up right to midfield basically here. 2nd down and 6. Not a lot there on that 2nd down carry for Victor Rosa. He's having an awesome game though. He's already has like 4 or 5 catches right now at the moment in this one. 3rd down and 4, and trying to go over the middle with it. That is knocked away, though, by the defender. Good play by the JMU defender there. And we get the football back after the offense for JMU doesn't do anything here. And a huge play by, that is Josiah Gatherings again, making another huge play. And we've got him a few times out of the wide receiver screen. And he's had a couple of 20-plus yard carries and plays in this game. He's been awesome for us. And here trying to work around the blocker. Should have been a little bit more patient there with TJ Sheffield. 78 yards receiving for him last game. He's got 4 catches so far today. 2nd down and 4. And Cam Edwards is short of the line to gain. Only 11 carries and 39 yards this game for him here. We're going to go outside in a toss play, and that's not going to work. As probably should have just kept running it outside there. Probably would have got the 1st down if we did that. But JMU, their defense is going to hold up here, and we have to put the ball away, but they go 3 and out. They don't really kick it very far, and we get a really good return. Sets us up inside of JMU territory here on this possession. That's a give to Cam Edwards here, and he's up to 43 yards. Rushing now. He's been able to run the ball pretty well. And we give it right back to him here. He gets kind of clocked by that defender. But he does get a 1st down. 124 yards on the ground for Adai so far. And that's a throw over the middle. Caught by Sheffield here. That was a little hitch. A little hitch spacing play right there. Sets us up at the 15. 1st down and 10. Going underneath. It's caught. That's Brett Buckham. He's got the edge. And he's got his 1st touchdown of the season. Brett Buckham, our 2nd leading wide receiver on the team, finally gets in the end zone for the 1st time this season. 15 yards out. And the UConn Huskies will extend the lead even further here over JMU. He's got 5 catches and 50 yards here so far today. One of his better games of the season. Only had 45 yards on 3 catches the week before against San Diego State. So we kick it back. Now we're in the 4th quarter here. JMU does get a field goal on their next possession. So we're up by 2 touchdowns here. And at this point, the name of the game is run the football and milk the clock for every second we can. That's what we're going to be doing probably going forward the rest of this game. But Victor Rosa is going to get a 1st down there nearing midfield before he gets hit down by the defender. Now it's a 1st down and 10. We're going to go right back to the ground. That's another run and another good one. 10-yard gain by Cam Edwards. 57 yards. 21 is the longest carry of the day. But now the clock nearing 8 minutes to go in this game. Play action here. Scrambling is Evers trying to find something. He does actually get a positive gain here as he does make the most out of that pressure getting to his face almost immediately, and he gets a gain of 8. And now trying to go to the outside. Oh my goodness. Man, Victor Rosa was wide open for what would have been a huge play and huge conversion. We don't pick it up. The throw is too far for Edwards there, and that is knocked down. He is sacked. And Evers here had 2 guys wide open. I mean, actually, we had the guy underneath here. I'm not sure if that's Buckham or Rosa. But then we had the other wide receiver, the square receiver, come wide open in a little bit. And then we had number 6. We had Sheffield wide open on the edge. We should have been completed that, and we should have got a 1st down there. But now our defense, we got to lean on them here. And so far, they have not been doing really good on this drive. 4th down and 1. They don't get the stop. And 32-yard touchdown throw. And wide receiver Edwards there making the catch. So now all of a sudden, JMU 2 straight scoring drives, a couple of stops on us on their defensive side of the ball, and now the clock is, nearing 3 minutes to go, but now it's kind of crunch time. We're only up by a single touchdown now. So first down and 10 here at the 36, and we're milking this clock here, and that's going to be a successful speed option, and there goes Edwards out to the outside and across the 50, and he's now at 77 rushing yards today. I mean, kind of a slow start for him in this game, it seems, but he has caught up, and he's been able to run the ball very well. He's got good numbers now on the day. That's 4 more for him up the middle, and now we're at the 2-minute warning here at this point in the game. So now JMU, they're going to be taking their timeouts here and using those, going over the middle on a wide receiver screen, but that one is routed really well actually by JMU, and they stop us. No gain on that play. So third down and 4. This is an absolutely huge play right here. Trying to go to the stick route and go to Harris, and it's intercepted. Oh, what a huge play by Justin Eaglin for JMU. An interception over the middle. He played the defender so perfectly on that play. And, man, Nick Evers went nearly 4 quarters without an interception. That one is costly. JMU is going to get the football at midfield here, only down by a touchdown. And Justin Eaglin, a monster play on defense. So now it's second down and 10 here, only a minute left to go in the game. Back to passes the quarterback. He's going over the middle. He had a receiver running the post, and that's a catch and a touchdown for JMU. Number 18 there making the catch, and a monster score, and James Madison 17 unanswered, and now an extra point away from a tie game. And yeah, just running a post route here on zone coverage, and that receiver beat the play, beat the routes, and he was open. A great throw by the quarterback, 25-yard touchdown strike, and we are tied. A minute left, just under a minute left to go here in this football game. UConn has all 3 timeouts. We're going deep on first down. It's Brett Buckham. He's got him. Buckham makes the catch near the 30-yard line. One play, and UConn is in field goal range just like that. Buckham's first touchdown reception of the year, and he makes his biggest catch of the season so far. Wow, what a throw by Evers. An absolute dime. And now with 45 seconds, JMU has used all their timeouts. And that's a screen pass and another first down. So now with that, we can run the clock down to 0, basically, and kick a field goal to win the game. And we're going to try to get as many extra yards as we can, make this easy on us. And look at this run. Wow, Cam Edwards, man, juking around defenders. He's got 92 rushing yards now on the day, and he gets a first down and goal. We're now at the 8-yard line. So we give it right back to him here. Breaks another tackle, then gets hit, knocked down, and near the goal line. We're now at the 3, and 10 seconds here. We can run one more play. We got to do it quickly, though. As we get up to the line, we give it to Edwards, who's going up the middle. He gets taken down and sacked, and we're going to call our timeout right here. Our first one of the game, but we got as close as you can possibly get to the end zone without actually getting into it. We're at the 1, and this should be an easy field goal attempt for Mike Freeman to win the game here tonight. As lining it up, the angle looks good, and the snap looks good, and hold is good. The kick is up, and it's right through the uprights, and it is good. And for the second straight game, Chris Freeman walks us off with the field goal. And, wow, what a game here at home. What a wonderful way to end the home regular season for the UConn Huskies here. 34-31 final score. And a back-and-forth affair here in this one. Maybe not really back and forth. We had the lead for a while. We kind of gave it up there at the end. Nick Evers, probably his best day passing, I think, this whole season, probably. 403 passing yards, the most passing yards he's had all year. And yes, he did have one reception, And it was a big interception, actually, but it was right there at the very end of the game. Overall, he played really well. I mean, a career type of game for Victor Rosa today. He was absolutely insane, popped off. And Brett Buckham, you know, he's had a kind of a reliable season. We go to 3 or 4 times a game, but today was his best game of his season so far. He absolutely went off today. And he had the biggest catch of the day. On first down, we take the deep shot immediately, and he's there wide open. And he's got a couple of steps on the defender, and he makes that catch. That was the biggest play of the game. That was so huge for us. And in terms of total offense, I mean, we were really good offensively in this one. 551 total yards. That's the most yards we've had in a game this season. JMU had 364 yards total, 198 rushing yards. We had 148 rushing yards, but 403 passing yards is kind of insane. And only 25 completions on top of that, but we were excellent on third down. I mean, over 50% on our third down conversion percentage in this game. And JMU was 8 of 17. They're pretty good on third downs. They were 3 of 3 on their fourth down conversion attempts as well. Only 1 turnover for us. 420 yards for JMU, 665 for us. JMU won the time of possession battle by just a few minutes. But yeah, that was a really good game. I mean, we had 17 points there in the second quarter. Pulled away. We pulled up by 17 going into the fourth. And JMU, a resilient team, and a pretty cool comeback for them. It almost happened. As there is a final numbers for Nick Evers, 186 quarterback rating, a 73% completion percentage there. 403 yards on 25 completions, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He's got 14 touchdowns and 16 interceptions now. The interception to touchdown ratio is slowly getting to even. And then Dylan Morris, their quarterback for JMU here. They didn't use him a lot. He only had 12 completions in this game, 162 yards. But he did have a big touchdown pass in this game, kind of late in the day. And then you go to the rushing yards, and Cam Edwards, you know, I don't think the first 3 quarters of the game for him weren't that great. I mean, he only had like 30 yards in the first, through the first kind of couple quarters. But man, his second half was absolutely excellent. And he finishes with 98 rushing yards and a touchdown. And Nick Evers also had a rushing touchdown. But A.R. O'Donnell had a really good day against our defense. 29 carries, 174 rushing yards for him, and a touchdown. Purdy there had a touchdown as well on the ground. And then the quarterback at 19 yards rushing. So our rushing defense was definitely not very stout in this one. They were pretty lackluster. But Victor Rosa, what a game for him here. And Victor Rosa and Brett Buckham, I mean, these are the 2 guys that we went to the most often in this one. Victor Rosa, 7 catches, 149 receiving yards, 1 touchdown, including a catch of 50 yards. And then Brett Buckham, 7 catches, 103 yards, first touchdown of the season for him. And a 47-yard reception there at the very end of the game to set us up in field goal range. Sheffield still had a good day, though. 4 catches for 54 yards for him today. And then Josiah Gatherings had 4 catches for 47 yards. Harris had only 2 catches there for 10 yards. And you look at receiving for JMU. 3 catches, 66 yards for Edwards. He had that big touchdown at the end. Actually, I think Logan Kyle did. Yeah, he was number 18. Logan Kyle had the big touchdown there at the very end of the game. Only his second catch of the day. And then our defense, our defense was a little bit sketchy. They played a lot better last week against San Diego State. But Julian Simone did get another sack. That's number 7 for him on the year. No other really big stats to show for that we didn't get a turnover or anything. And then for JMU, only 1 sack on us all game. That was DJ Cotton Jr. getting a sack on us on that. That was a third down play that we probably should have been able to complete that pass. I mean, there was wide open guys on that play. But either way, that was the only sack of the game that we had. And then the interception, a big one. And then Terry Lockett Jr. forced that fumble on the speed option play there, but a big interception by Justin Eaglin. And Chris Freeman, not any long kicks or anything, not any long field goals. I mean, his game-winning field goal was only 18 yards, but 2 for 2 in the day, and he's had a couple of really clutch kicks recently, of course, in the last couple of games, and came into this game 10 of 15 on the season. He's now 12 of 17. He's been a very reliable field goal kicker for us this season. But yeah, I mean, going into the fourth quarter, you're up 34 to 14. Oh no, we were up 31 to 14 going into the fourth quarter, and the first quarter or the first half was a lot of points for us. But I mean, how clutch was that? 50-yard touchdown, 50-yard pass to Victor Rosa to set us up in field goal range right at the end of the second half. I mean, how clutch was that big touchdown? A couple of touchdowns, or the touchdown that but Buckham had. How clutch was that? Obviously, that 47-yard pass there at the very end. Some really big plays you can point to in that game to say, yeah, if those didn't work out for us, that game could have ended differently. But now we're 7-2 here on the season. And it's another win. We're kind of racking them up now at this point. But we're facing a UAB team here who in real life is not playing very well. I think their record is right now like the exact opposite of what it actually is in this game. But in this game this season, they have played really well. They are 6-2 right now this year. They beat an FCS team. They kind of crushed UL Monroe. They lost to Arkansas, but only by a touchdown, so they played them pretty tough. Navy is doing really bad in this game. They're only 1-7. And they lost to Tulane, but they did beat Army here, 41-13, crushed Army. Their last 2 wins, though, against a couple of teams with not very good records. The last 2 teams that they played have only 4 combined wins. So, yeah, I don't know. UAB's strength of schedule was maybe a little bit better than JMU's was, but not by, like, a ton, I guess. Their strength of schedule wasn't, like, insane or anything like that. But they are better team overall-wise. They are about the same in terms of us, in terms of their ratings. I mean, they're 80 overall across the board. That's about where we are as a team here. And their best player is center Brady Wilson here, who is an 87 overall player and has excellent pass blocking at 87 there. All of his pass block ratings are at 87. 90 awareness, 83 lead blocking, great strength there at 88, 87 impact blocking, 89 at toughness. Yeah, he is a great center for them, great offensive anchor. And then their second best player is their quarterback here, Jacob Zeno, 3-star high school recruit, and he's okay. His accuracies are decent. They're not anything crazy. His short throw accuracy is good, though, at 89. But his throw power is really good. He's got really good awareness and play action, though. That's probably one of his better ratings there. And he's got decent elusiveness, able to kind of work around the pocket here. And he's an 84 overall. And you look at his numbers, overall this season, 1,690 yards, 19 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Those are good numbers for him. I would have kind of expected the yards to be a bit higher for him, but 19 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, that's a really good ratio there. Their second best, their third best player, but their second best offensive player here is Isaiah Jacobs, who is their running back here. And, about average across the board, not really a huge strength of his game. I mean, he's fairly elusive, decently quick, but, he's just a really well-rounded running back, I think, is kind of what we're seeing here from him. He does have some good physical traits there. And you look at his rushing numbers, and, only 357 yards, only 3 touchdowns so far this season. But, they kind of use him, and then they use BB Jr., who is just a couple of players down. But Amari Thomas is this team's best wide receiver. And, you look at his raw running, it's pretty good. His hands is where he excels, though. I mean, 88 catching, 86 spec catch, 89 catch in traffic. He's got great elusiveness, IQ, and quickness. He's a very fast wide receiver. Gets to, breaks off of guys out of the snap and out of the huddle. So he's definitely an offensive player to watch. And I think, you look at his numbers, and yeah, he's got 9 touchdowns this year, 549 receiving yards. He's definitely one of the better guys that this team goes to often. So overall, their defense, I think they're going to have kind of a tough task in front of them here to try and stop this offense, because this offense has playmakers on it right now, as we're seeing And we just keep going down the line on this roster, and it's the offensive players that are just continuing to show up for them. And by the way, I love these teams. This team's unis might be some of the best uniforms in college football 25. Absolutely love these uniforms, and I love the uniforms that we chose to play against them here. In this game, you'll see what those unis look like when we get into the game, but man, these UAB jerseys are absolutely fire. And so is their mascot. I really like their mascot too. A lot to like here about the University of Alabama, Birmingham. But you look at their offense, and, you know, they're 4th or 5th best in, 5th from worst in the American in terms of their total offense, 2,711. Total offensive yards, pretty average in terms of passing and rushing touchdowns. So, you know, their offense in terms of the American where it's at isn't, like, exceptional. They are the 4th best defense, though, in the American Conference, behind Army, Navy, and Florida Atlantic. And it looks like they're pretty decently balanced there. Their rushing defense is just okay. It is one of maybe the better ones in the conference. They have gotten 22 sacks though. That's this year. That's pretty good. They are really good on conversions. They're the team or the conference leader in terms of third down conversions this season. And then in red zone efficiency, they are, I didn't actually see where they were in terms of that number, but they have a positive 5 turnover differential, only 6 giveaways, 11 takeaways for them, 8 fumble recoveries. That's a kind of a lot there, but they don't make a lot of mistakes. They haven't turned the ball over that much, and here we go into this game between the UAB Blazers and these absolutely sick jerseys. Gosh, these unis are fire. I love the neon green. It's such a unique color that you just don't see in like any other uniform. I like the stadium too. I mean, the UAB logo is sick. The UAB text in the end zone is awesome. There's a lot I really like aesthetically about this UAB team. But we're out here. We're trying to beat them here in this episode. We don't want them to succeed against us, and we want to keep this winning streak going here on a 2-game streak right now. And we're going to give it back to Victor Rosa here again for the first play of the game. And, you know, only 315 yards allowed per game for their defense. Their defense has been pretty good, honestly. As now 3rd down and 8, trying to go over the middle. That ball is knocked away by the defender, and it's going to fall incomplete. Kendall Johnson was out there in coverage, and he knocks the ball away. But in retrospect, I should have gone to the other opposite side of the field. There was 2 receivers there on the opposite side of the field that were wide open. So UAB's offense doesn't do anything. They have the 3 and out for them on 3rd down and 10. Going over the middle, completing it to TJ Sheffield. That's his first catch of the day. He's got a catch for 17 yards. Nearing midfield here on that one play alone. On 1st down, Evers is backing up to pass. And Evers is going to throw it away, trying to escape the pocket, but there is no receiver in the area, and that is intentional grounding against us right there and against Nick Evers. So, yeah, we ran a verticals route there, and there was no wide receiver over there in that area. I should have dumped it off to the running back on that play. But now it's a penalty. Now we're behind the stick. 2nd down and 20 as trying to get some of that back. A gain of 8 for Victor Rosa on that screen pass. So a 3rd down and pretty long here from the 48-yard line, the wrong side of the 50 for us. And back to pass is Evers. Evers trying to go over the middle. I mean, TJ Sheffield looks pretty covered on that play, and it's going to be overthrown and incomplete. So we kick back. UAB gets a field goal here. Victor Rosa on the first play of this next drive gets a big carry right there. A gain of about 15 on that run to the outside. 2nd down and 11. We're going to go back to Victor Rosa. He's got a great gain up the middle right here. And across the 50 into UAB territory with that run. So we're using him more in the running game so far and in the backfield in this game now, as we're going to go to that's another jet sweep play to Brett Buckham, who's not going to get a lot, but he gets about 4 there on that jet sweep. Now it's 2nd down and 6. 2 minutes left in the quarter. Trying to throw it outside down the wheel route, and that is caught by Victor Rosa. Good catch out there on the outside. Good play. And that was a gain of about 14 there on that play. 2nd down and 10. Now going over the middle. That's caught by Gatherings now. He's got a 1st down. First catch for Josiah Gatherings on the day, and now we're at the 14. So basically a minute left to go in the quarter. Backing it to passes. Evers looking over the middle. Evers is going to find Brett Buckham, who is going to walk his way into the end zone. Buckham with his first touchdown last game, and he is in the end zone again. As UConn gets on the board here at the end of the first quarter to take a 6-3 lead. And, I mean, Brett Buckham, we really didn't say his name very much early on in this season. And he had a really great game, a critical impact in the last game. And now he has a good start to this one. 2 catches, including another touchdown. And so a good day for him so far, as that's going to be the end of the first quarter there. That screen pass that doesn't work for us. Loss of actually a couple of yards. But, you know, both these teams pretty even, actually, in terms of what they've done here in this first quarter. Pretty split down the middle in terms of the times of the attempts and the plays and the yards. And that was a screen pass that doesn't work. We are not able to complete it. We have to punt the ball away. UAB doesn't do anything with their possession here. And on 1st down and 10, we try to run it up the middle with Cam Edwards, and that's not going to go anywhere. That's a loss of a couple. So it's a 3rd down and 12 right now, and getting hit on this throw, he does complete it to Victor Rosa here on the vertical route, but Victor Rosa is not going to be able to get to that 1st down marker. So we have to punt it away to UAB, and UAB is going to score in 2 plays. Amari Davis there, their big wide receiver, their top target, just goes deep, and that was a big drive by UAB. But a good punt return by TJ Sheffield sets us up at the 35, and then a good play, another good catch by Brett Buckham, who's already got 30 yards receiving today, gets us a 1st down. So now we trail by 3 here. We're trying to go deep on that ball, and that one is going to be knocked away and incomplete. Evers trying to find Sheffield there, but into a lot of traffic. Now it's a 3rd down and 10, and that throw is missed. It's just outside of the numbers, and that was a 1st down that is not completed, and UAB will get the football back. They score again on a field goal. That's a catch, a broken tackle by TJ Sheffield, and you know, Nick Evers has already had 11 incompletions in this game, and there have been a few throws on this game specifically, and one that I can remember in the GMU game that it's like, yeah, you should have been able to complete that. The receiver was open here, and he just hasn't been able. He's been missing a couple of these throws, and now that's a catch. That's a 1st down. There's only a minute 20 left. We still have all 3 timeouts right here, so it's a 1st down and 10 now. As Evers is dropping way back, he's going over the middle. That's a catch made by Harris. Nick Harris with the big catch over the middle. That'll get us into UAB territory here. Clock running down on a minute to go in the quarter. Throwing it to the outside and into triple coverage. That's not a smart decision, not a smart throw. 9 pass deflections on the defensive side for UAB already. That's a lot of the reason for all the incompletions. And here's a screen pass. And one working around the 2 defenders there is Victor Rosa, who's got a big gain. 19 yards on that catch and 52 receiving yards total in the game. A 2nd straight day for him where his offense has been awesome. And now in a slant pattern, it's a catch and a near touchdown from TJ Sheffield, who's got 48 yards and 3 catches. And now it's 1st down and goal from the 3. So 30 seconds left to go in the half here. And that's a throw to the outside. That one is caught, but no touchdown for TJ Sheffield. 24 seconds left. Still have 2 timeouts. We're going to try and run it here, and we're stopped. We are not knocked back. Cam Edwards not able to get into the end zone. So we take our 2nd timeout, and we're still going to go back to the run. We're going to punch it in with Edwards, who gets the sweep play on the outside, and he will walk into the end zone. Well, not an amazing day running the ball for him so far, but he gets in the end zone again. That's touchdown number 16 here on the season for our star running back, Cam Edwards. and just feed him the rock. I mean, part of the reason is we just give him the football whenever we're inside the 5, and that's who I go to. I just hand him the football, and he gets into the end zone so consistently. We have taken the lead now. We're up by 1 here in this third quarter, as we are now in the second half. And here's a 2nd down and 4. Play action for Evers. Going over the middle, and he throws it right to the defender. That's number 1. An interception by Colby Dempsey for UAB. And I don't know, Nick Evers ever really saw that defender there on the outside. And that's a big turnover and a big play by the UAB defense. The senior corner making a play on that football, and yeah, he's in zone, and he just continued to drop back in coverage, and I don't think Nick Evers really ever saw him. And UAB is not actually a score off of that. They had a field goal that was missed by their kicker, so we're still ahead in this game by a point, but you know, not a good throw. Bad mistake there by Evers. Now we're back on the move here, and it's a toss play to the outside and a good run for Nick Evers. That's his biggest rush of the game. And yeah, 109 yards last game. He's now, only has 14 yards today in this game. As play action here, and nowhere to go for Nick Evers, who dropped way back in coverage and gets taken down. Kendall Johnson there asserting himself and putting on the pressure. And there was also another player on the call there. Kendall Johnson was also there to combine with that sack, but we get more of it back there on this throw to Victor Rosa, who's got us right near down a 3rd down marker, where it's a 3rd down and manageable for us in this situation, and we run it with Edwards, and he's got a 1st down. So despite the sack, we actually do bounce back and still get a 1st down off of that. And now we get a snap here. Now it's a 1st down and 10. Man in motion, we fake the jet sweep, and we run it up the middle with Victor Rosa, who's near the 1st down marker right there. And he's got 54 yards rushing, so it's a 2nd down and 1. And this would be a big drive for us here at this point in the game, trying to extend our lead. Going over the middle on play action. It's caught. Sheffield again. Another big catch for him. And we're now down to the 10-yard line, and we are set up for 1st and goal. Here we go. 1st down and 10 from the 10-yard line. And over the middle, throwing it to the end zone. And it's caught. Guess who? Brett Buckham again. 3rd receiving touchdown in the last 2 games. And the lead is extended for UConn. The Huskies will look to go up by 8 with an extra point. Seriously, Brett Buckham, what an emergence for this guy here in the last couple of games. Again, a guy that was just not getting catches. And, average yards per game, only 58 yards, 4 catches, but he's got 2 touchdown receptions today. And now, though, UAB responds with a 60-yard touchdown run by Amona Thomas there, their wide receiver, maybe a jet sweep type of situation. But UAB, they scored in 2 plays earlier this game. They score in 2 plays again on that drive. And now, a free blocker there, and that's Desmond Little again off the edge. Nobody blocks him here on this play. Actually, he sheds this block. He gets right over the top of our right tackle there, who just failed epically to try and block him. And that's a big loss, and we're actually going to get more loss of yardage here on this run. And we have to put it away. UAB gets the ball, and they kick a field goal here. They get more points. They now have the lead in this game. Throwing it to the outside. Another catch for TJ Sheffield here tonight. And it's now a 3rd down and 9 with the 3rd quarter winding down. Going to the screen pass once again. Can he get to the 1st down? He will not. Victor Rosa is going to be short. And that is going to force a punt for us here. Back to the UAB offense. We're at the end of the 3rd quarter. And Shanks is going to catch a 73-yard touchdown pass. Oh my goodness, we're down by 10 all of a sudden. Our defense right now is really struggling, and now we're going to throw an interception. Michael Moore sitting back in coverage, and a bad situation has just gotten worse for our offense. And I called a timeout in frustration right there after I threw that timeout. But my goodness, our defense giving up some monster plays in this game. It's some huge long touchdowns, and that's not going to help. We turn the ball over, and they score in 4 plays again. Wow, just like that, we're down by multiple touchdowns here. We're down by 17 in the 4th quarter. And we had the lead 21-13 at one point in this game. It has gone really downhill for us. And, I mean, at this point, you know, maybe we can get in the end zone, try to get in the end zone again, but we're not going to be... I mean, I think it's a long shot for us to be able to win this football game. And we can't even get this first down right here. So we're going to go for it here. We don't really have a choice at this point. We're going to go back to Cam Edwards, who's going to get a really big gain right here. That's one of his best runs of the entire day. He just hasn't been able to run the football very well in this one tonight. We haven't been able to really, you know, see him utilized very much. But now it's play action and going to the outside. That's a catch. And that was Alex Hoenig, he's actually a tackle for us. He's out there in the receiving game, and he makes a catch. So 3rd down and 1. That's going to be a first down for Cam Edwards here. And, wow, okay, 1,000 rushing yards for that running back for Michigan, Donovan Edwards. That's pretty crazy. You saw him on the leaderboard. And we get a first down there. Good catch through traffic for that defender. Now we're going to go super short. And Nick Harris was there, but, I mean, not a lot on that play. So this is a good drive, but a lot of time coming off the clock. That's a throw to the outside. Brett Buckham has got one more big play in him, at least in this game. That's a catch on the high-low crossing route. And now it's a first down and 10. And we're all the way up to the 14 here. It's another give. Trying to get to the outside. Breaking a tackle. And getting inside the 10 near the 5-yard line is Cam Edwards. So now it's a 2nd down and 2. Under 6 minutes to go in the quarter. Throwing it to the outside. And Victor Rosa open on the out route. Makes the catch for a touchdown. That is number 5 for him this season and the second one in this episode. Touchdown number 17 for Nick Evers today. His 3rd touchdown of the game, I believe. His 3rd touchdown pass of the day. And now we're down by 10. So we get the ball to our defense, and our defense has got to come up with a stop. But they're just giving the ball to BB Jr. here, and he's just running up the middle. Another huge run by Isaiah Jacobs. And we're calling our timeouts now. They're at the 15-yard line. Come on, defense. 3rd down and 6. This is the game right here. And they're going to get the first down. Oh, man. Thomas, a 7-yard touchdown, a 7-yard reception. And now they're kneeing the ball out. And that's the end of the game. Our defense can't get a stop to try and get the ball back for us. And that's the end of the game. UConn falls to UAB here on the road by 10. 28-38, the final score. And Amari Thomas, 4 catches and 2 touchdowns, 38 receiving yards, but he also had an excellent day running the football as well. He had like a 70-plus yard running touchdown also in this game. And yeah, we fall in this one, and yeah, I mean the turnovers. We had 2 of them in this game. That's not good for us, of course. And I don't think we forced any turnovers on our defensive side, so we did lose that turnover battle 2-0 here. But honestly, our defense gave up way too many big plays in this one. They gave up some really long touchdowns, and you know that was, I mean, the second half for our defense was not very good. They were not able to really stop this team very much at all. And 492 yards of total offense, that's maybe the most that our defense has given up all season, except for against Wake Forest. Wake Forest might have had about that many yards of offense against us. But yeah, that's one of our worst defensive performances of the season, honestly. And you look at our total offense, I mean, we had 355 yards. Total offense wasn't bad by really any means. We didn't run the ball as well as I would have liked to, though. Only 73 rushing yards. Cam Edwards really didn't get his game going that much. And we threw the ball 44 times with 3 touchdowns there. But, you know, the passing yards for UAB, not a lot. Only 189, but 303 rushing yards. I mean, that's way too much. We cannot be giving up those kind of rushing totals and expect to be able to win a game. And we weren't good on third downs. We were only 4 of 12 there. UAB was basically 50% in that category. We were 100% in the red zone. We got a touchdown every time we were there. But, yeah, we lost the turnover battle 2-0. And 500 yards allowed total by our defense. And that's with only 18 punt return yards and no kick return yards for UAB here. And we punted the ball pretty often in this one. We punted it 7 times. I think that's the most that we've punted in a game this season. And we also lost the time of possession battle pretty badly. Jacob Zeno, I mean, not an impressive day, really. 50% completion percentage, only 189 passing yards for him, only 1 touchdown. So it's not like he had a ridiculous day passing the football or anything, but we just couldn't stop him when it really mattered. And you look at Nick Evers, and, you know, this day for him, he played a lot better against JMU. This game wasn't the best for him. 282 yards, and, you know, that completion percentage is 63%. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I mean, I'm glad that he's throwing more touchdown passes. I mean, you know, he had 5 total in this episode. That's, you know, that's not really normal for him. I don't feel like I was really throwing it into the end zone as much in the earlier games this season. I mean, he didn't have a touchdown at all against San Diego State. So, yeah, but running the football, that was where their struggle was really at. And, I mean, Victor Rosa actually ran the ball really well, but Cam Edwards, one of his worst days on the ground running the football, in all things considered. I mean, only 39 rushing yards. Still find a way to get into the end zone, but that was about it. And, I mean, Isaiah Jacobs, 120 yards rushing. He had a crazy day on the ground. Beebe Jr., their backup running back, had 10 carries for 62 yards. That's way too much. And then Thomas and Shanks here. Amari Thomas, wide receiver, had 92 rushing yards on 4 carries and 2 touchdowns. And he also had a receiving touchdown, I believe, too. So, yeah, he had a great day running the football, apparently. And Cam Shanks also had 22 rushing yards. TJ Jones also had a rushing touchdown. So, I don't know how they involved all these wide receivers into their rushing game here. I'm not sure what their playbook looks like, but their receivers had a crazy game, apparently, running the football because they didn't really do a lot through the air. I mean, yeah, Cam Shanks had the most receiving yards on the day because he had a 73-yard touchdown reception, 89 yards total and a touchdown, but nobody else besides him really had a big game. I mean, the next highest receiver there for them was Thomas with only 38 receiving yards. So they gashed us on the ground all day. And for us, in terms of receiving, you know, Victor Rosa, second straight game within a touchdown, second straight game nearing 100 yards. He had a really good day and a really good episode. But nobody had a better episode than Brett Buckham today. Over 100 receiving yards against JMU and 7 catches for 69 yards and 2 touchdowns today. He had a great episode in this game. And then TJ Sheffield here had 82 receiving yards on 6 catches. He had some really big catches over the middle in this game. He had a good day. Hasn't found the I can't talk there. Hasn't found the end zone in a little bit, but still is adding to those numbers, padding what has been an excellent season for him. And you go to our defense, and our defense didn't force any turnovers here. And do we even get a sack in this game? It doesn't look like it. We didn't even get a sack at all in this game. So, yeah, our defense, not really a lot to show for our defense tonight. But you look at this team's defense, Michael Moore had 13 total tackles today, only 3 solo, but then Chris Bracey had 11 tackles total. Mitchell Watson had 9 tackles. Maddox had 7. And then 2 sacks total in this game, 1.5 to Desmond Whittle, and 1/2 a sack for Kendall Johnson in this one. And then 2 interceptions for UAB here. One from Colby Dempsey and one from Michael Moore. So that's a look at the defensive stats, and not a lot more stats to go over here. Only 3 punts, or 3 field goal attempts, 3 or 5 on the field goal attempts. Only 3 punts for this team, but we had 7 punts in this game for us. So those are the kick return stats here, but we're going to go out of this game here, and we're going to go into some recruiting news for you here at the end of this episode. And we're skipping ahead another week here to week 11. And big news for us in recruiting. We actually finally have a commitment. Nolan Cleveland from Windsor, Connecticut, a 3-star player. I believe that's a center there. That's his position. But Nolan Cleveland has committed to our school. Yes, he is a center. We finally have a commit. Man, it took us 11 weeks to finally get somebody here to commit to our school despite our 7-3 record. But that's a big get there, and hopefully we can start seeing those commits come even quicker now after that one and that at this point in the season here. Unfortunately, we do lose out on Chris Ernster there, a wide receiver, and Son Hurt. We also lose out on him. We really had no competition in that battle. Then all of a sudden, Temple just took over that, or Temple or Rutgers, one of those two teams, took over that race. While Ohio State lost to Purdue, they lost 2 games this year, I believe, because they lost to Nebraska earlier in this season. They have 2 losses right now on the year. That's a quick look at that top 25 rankings. I mean, you got NC State, Missouri 8-1, number 4 in the nation. Let's go, baby. Number 5 is NC State at 9-1. And right now, we are higher than Notre Dame. I mean, we have 1 more win than they do. Notre Dame is ranked, though. And again, I went back to the bowl projections. We have 7 wins, so like we're definitely more than guaranteed. North Texas and Missouri, that's a very interesting bowl game matchup there. But we have 7 wins now at this point. We're very much guaranteed a bowl opportunity, a bowl game here, but we're still nowhere to be found. I don't know why we're not showing up here for a bowl game prediction. I mean, I guess they just want us to be in suspense until we play them, until we play whoever we play, and we don't have any idea who we're playing until it actually happens. But yeah, we're not in that bowl projections for some reason. But either way, looking at recruiting here, Mitch Droge, I'm just not going to say the E on his name, but we are first for him. I think he's probably going to be maybe our next commit, if I were to guess right now at this point. George Reiser, though, Boston College, probably going to steal him away from us. It looks like again, I've talked about it before. We don't have a visit for him anymore at this point. He just went to Syracuse. He still has to go to Boston College here, but he's probably going to commit before he even does that. But yes, we do get Nolan Cleveland, a 3-star gem athlete from Windsor, Connecticut. There's a look at some of his ratings right now. 79 there with the lead block, 81 impact block, 91 strength, 68 run block. So I like where his blocking ratings are at right now at that point. I mean, he looks like he's going to be a pretty solid player for us. John Ampoli, we have 35 on him. We have 100 points right now, so we may give him more here. It looks like there's some other teams in the race, including a team that, including UMass, who is scheduled to visit. That's our last game of the season, so he's actually going to visit against us in that last game, in that last week of the season for us in the regular year. And we are going to send the house on him. We're putting 50 on Ian Campoli, and I really hope that we can still hold on to that race despite not having a visit available to be scheduled for him. We're ahead for Poole and Nash. We've reached the top 5 stage for both of those players, and we still have nobody else that is looking at getting them. Colin Permel, this race is pretty much done. I mean, we have 30 points. We tried to stay in this race for as long as possible, but there is just really no way, I don't think, for us to do that. So we're taking points off of him. We're just not going to we're going to invest our points elsewhere going forward this year as opposed to putting it on him here. And Jay Brzezinski, We got Rutgers and Boston College and Temple, all the other teams offering scholarships to him right now. We are first for him, but, you know, I want to get him. He's a 3-star corner from New Jersey, and so we're going to send the house on him, it looks like here. We're at least putting more points, and we're going to send the house on Brzezinski here. We are in a bye week, by the way, so we'll see what happens as we sim ahead. But now we have 95 points. We're looking at Nolan Waiters, so we have 15 on him. We put 15 on him last week, and we're going to put more points on him right now, where he's about to get into the top 5 stage of his recruiting. And, I mean, I think, you know, 3-star middle linebacker, I think we're probably pretty good with Boston College. Boston College lost ground in this race from last week. So, 30 points on to him. We put 15 more on him. Jermaine Worthy, we're now in the top 5 for his schools here, and we are first for him. We don't have any points on him right now. He's a center, 3-star gem. And so, we're actually sending the house on Jermaine Worthy here. I really like where his ratings are at. I want to be able to get him. So 30 points left. We are first for Maxwell Vernon. We added him to our recruiting board a couple weeks ago. First for Anaku. And a lot of these guys are just getting into their top 5 recruiting stage. So, you know, I think these are going to be, a lot of races are going to happen in the off season. And we're also going to have to lean pretty heavily on the transfer portal. Because even if we get all the guys that we are kind of putting points on, and even all the guys that we're offering scholarships to, we've only offered 18 scholarships this year. And, you know, we're going to get, I think we're going to get most of these players here. But, yeah, we only have 18 scholarships offered, and, you know, that's kind of a small recruiting class. So, you might have to kind of lean on the transfer portal in the offseason. And I did get some practice actually playing and actually working with the transfer portal. I was able to do it because I'm doing a Colorado State franchise rebuild on my own free time, and I just played the offseason of that. So I do know how the transfer portal works a little bit in the offseason. So we're trying to maybe put some more players on this board here. We only have 22 on the board, and we're gonna put Nicholas Schuler on the board here, and it looks like we're going to see it take some points off of somebody, maybe to put some points on Schuler, offer him a scholarship here, and kind of deciding between either Angel Nash or Jonathan Lasso, one of these two guys to take points off of. And we're going to go ahead and take points off of Angel Nash here, right outside linebacker. Just no interest from any other team, but definitely don't want to just give up on it, giving points to him, because we have seen that, you know, if one of those teams suddenly gets into that race, we're going to be in danger of losing out on him. So we have added him to the board. We have given him a scholarship, and we've given him 25 points as well here at the cornerback. And, you know, Rutgers first for him, but Rutgers has not really put a lot of effort into that race. It looks like they've just offered him a scholarship, and that's about it. And in the top 25, news: Ole Miss losing to Georgia. That was a top 10 matchup right there. West Virginia in this sim is really good somehow, but they're 7-2. They beat Cincinnati, who's also been really good this season. Wow, okay, 42-45, crazy game right there between Florida State and Notre Dame. Washington this year has been really good. They just beat Penn State in sim. And Florida has also been really good. They beat Texas, and Texas is unranked right now in this sim. That's kind of crazy to me. I didn't actually see how many losses they had there, but yeah, that's pretty wild. And then George Schweitzer and Colin Brunel, we kind of knew and expected these guys to not go to us and commit to these other schools, so that's not really big news, but it is unfortunate that we lost out on those two guys now. There, USC losing to Nebraska. Nebraska, again, pulls off another big upset, and they're in the top 25. They're in the top 20 now. Ole Miss playing number 13, Florida. That's a wild matchup right there. The SEC has not really gone the way it has actually in real life. Tennessee is still really good in this sim here. But George, man, just commit to us, man. He's so close to a commit for us now. I think in the next episode, he'll recruit, but he'll commit before the offseason starts. And man, where this race for Ian Poly is really close. I mean, it's going to make the UMass game really important for us to be able to win, so that that visit for him does not go as planned. We really are going to have to win that football game. And for Jake Brzezinski, it looks like Rutgers and Boston College have scheduled visits for him, and this is something that I have to keep in mind going into next year as I build my schedule. Is week 10 cutoff for scheduling visits is pretty early in the season. So maybe you want to schedule a game, week 13, week 14 home game, just so you can have some visits that you schedule really late in the season, because we can't schedule any more visits for any of these players here in the final 2 games of the year. But Jerquez Lasso, we are now entering the top 5 stage for him, basically, here. And it looks like we're gaining for Nolan Waiters on Boston College, who, again, is not really putting a lot of effort and points into him. But where are we at for Schuler? So, okay, we gained a ton in this race, and we are right behind Rutgers now after this week and only putting 25 on him. So it seems pretty confident. I'm pretty confident we put more points onto him. We might be able to get into that race and might be able to win that race as well. Colin Brumell, 3-star cornerback, and that is unfortunate. We lose out on him. And Anaku here. I mean, again, a lot of these recruiting battles pretty early, and now all of a sudden, okay, Rutgers suddenly showing interest in Bobby Parks, and they offered him a scholarship, so now we're trailing for that recruiting battle. It just seems like, we're not getting a lot of commits right now. We're not getting a lot of guys interested in us, and, I mean, I am the offensive coordinator, so I don't really know why recruiting is so hard. Like, I am controlling it. And I guess it's operating, with my skill or my coach tree level here. But, yeah, in both this franchise and in the other franchise, in the FIU Dynasty, recruiting has been, difficult for me to actually get commits in. When I was playing with Colorado State in, the Dynasty I'm not doing for the YouTube channel, I actually did pretty well in terms of recruiting. I was, second in the conference, in the Mountain West Conference, that is, in recruiting. So in that sim, I was able to recruit pretty well and able to get commits. Not the same in this episode and in this game, though. But there's a look. I mean, we have 2 more games left on the season. Syracuse and UMass will play. We'll have an Emily the Show video, and we'll have a couple of FIU Dynasty videos that'll come out as well here. And, yeah, so UConn, I mean, year 1, we'll finish year 1. Probably that'll be the last, we'll finish year 1 of this, this season, and then year 1 of FIU pretty much at the same time. But that's going to be all for me in this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching these 2 games. 2 pretty fun games. The first game against JMU was maybe the best game of the season, the most entertaining one that we played with this team here this year. And we are 7-3 as we go into our final 2 weeks of the season. So we'll see how that plays out. But thank you guys so much for watching. You've been listening to Lucas Johnson. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already and you want to see more from me. And I will see all of you guys in the next video. Have a great weekend, and God bless.